For today's video, I have decided to do an illustration for my absolute bestest friend in the whole wide world, my sister from another mister, who has just recently, in the last couple of months, had a little baby boy. And I want to send her something, you know, a gift to celebrate his birth. I thought, what better thing to do is draw something appropriate. Trust me, I have been thinking so hard about this, and I definitely brainstormed a few ways on doing this. Some of them were a little bit like horrible. What the? Okay. Horrible. More of just like him sort of teaming up with some scary little toys and, you know, doing some, you know, little questionable things. But I decided that I'm not going to do that. I'm still going to incorporate some sort of creepy aspects into the piece, but I'm going to keep it very friendly and very PG. So I'm going to use my French paper, the Roymac range, which is my one of my favorite watercolor papers because it is so smooth. It is 100% cotton. It's 300 GSM. It is just a chef's kiss of paper, you know. Seriously, it's just the bomb. Now for this special occasion, because I'm going to be sending the original to my friend, I'm going to be using this palette full of awesome colors that Violet Connie Art sent me. I'll have the video here if you want to. Oh God, where am I going? I will have the video here if you want to see that video when I got gifted these beautiful watercolors by Connie. So we've got some Sennelier, we've got Daniel Smith, and a Winsor and Newton in there. So I'll be using that palette as well as Connie's handmade ones. I'm going to incorporate some of these into the piece as well because I just love her colors. So yeah, I'm going to probably not be using the Tasty True Triad because that's the Aquatic Monster series, but I will be incorporating some of these colors into it as well, just depending on which direction I will be going. But yeah, I have a wonderful collection of Connie's paints. I just wish that she was still doing this because I want to buy a palette off of her. Connie, if you're watching, seriously, make some palettes because I will be #1 customer. I'm also going to incorporate this palette into it if I can. I'm just getting all these palettes ready just in case I want to use any of these because they're all beautiful, handmade and expensive watercolors. I'm only using the best for my best friend. And I'm going to be using a blue Prismacolor Col-Erase because it's a little boy and I draw everything in this color. So I'm very excited to get started on this and then send it to her. She lives in Melbourne, Victoria, which are currently in lockdown, so I don't know how long this is going to take to get to her once I have finished it. Hopefully it won't get there, you know, like 3 months down the track. Let's get started on it now and then I will hopefully I can get it to her as soon as possible. This illustration's a little bit tamer than what I usually do, and it was quite refreshing to do something like this because I don't tend to do a lot of nice, sweet, cute illustrations. As much as it still has some scary, creepy elements to it which happens to be in the toys in this illustration, it's still cute. And no, it was really, really good to actually sit down and to actually do something like this. As I did mention before, I definitely went over quite a few scenarios in my head for this, and I really wasn't sure what I was going to do, but I sort of decided to keep it very very cute, because I could have really gone quite horrific with this and really went like just crazy, bloodthirsty. Obviously not on the kids' part, but like maybe having like toys covered in blood, and maybe the little baby having like a knife or something like that. I could have gone down that route, but I sort of really didn't want to, because you know, I really wanted to take all of that off the table and do something cute, and it wasn't really appropriate. As much as my friend loves this kind of stuff like I do as well, this wasn't the time to be creating and sending something completely horror related. So like I said, I kept it creepy, and that's it, with some creepy little toys in this illustration. Now, I have drawn babies in the past, but this was a big challenge for me to really get a cute human baby face. It's not something that I am used to drawing a lot of. So I really had to, you know, think about how a baby looks, and I did go and have a look at some baby photos, some baby references. I even got the references up of my friend's little boy that's, you know, who was actually the baby in the piece. I had a look at his face, and then I sort of went from there, because yeah, I did a lot of sketching and brainstorming with faces before I went in and did this, obviously, because it's not something that I am very comfortable with. And this is the end result. Now, I definitely one thing I wasn't overly happy with was, and this is what I can do sometimes with my illustrations, when I go over something like a certain part of the illustration with a liner, sometimes I don't know what it is, it's like my hands, like I get a little bit nervous and my hand sort of just goes off in a different direction. So what happened was, when I did this little boy's nose, I wasn't real happy with it. Like, this would be the only thing I'm not happy with the piece, but then like I tried to sort of fix it a bit, but yeah, it's a weird nose. So other than that, I'm happy with everything else in this illustration. Now, the story behind the poses. Now, they're all sort of like dabbing, and this all comes from a TV show here in Australia by a comedian here called Chris Lilly. Now, he is just hilarious. He is so funny. Honestly recommends checking out Chris Lilly's work. He does mockumentaries, like We Can Be Heroes is one. Summer Heights High is a really popular one. Angry Boys, you got Jonah from Tonga, and the one that this sort of inspired me to do was his last TV series that he did, his mockumentary of Lunatics, which is, he plays all these different characters in his TV shows, and it's just hilarious. Like it's a really goofy comedy, sort of it's like approach, and it's just the best. Like it is just so funny. Like I can't really explain it. You sort of have to watch something that he has done. Now, one of the characters that he plays in Lunatics is called Gavin. Now, Gavin is a complete, he plays a young boy. He's a young boy, and is played by Chris Lilly, obviously. And I think Gavin is like 12 years old, and he basically ends up being the heir of this English mansion. So he goes over to England, and it's just hilarious how he just swears a lot. He's rude. He just doesn't give a shit about anything, and basically he likes to likes to film himself doing stupid shit. Now, one of the things that he does is he does the dab, and he basically, when he does the dab with his little cousin, he goes dope as fuck. And it is just the funniest. It's just so funny. You have, like I said, you have to watch it. It's hard to explain. So that's why I have put the poses on the toys and my friend's little boy in this illustration, because my friend also loves Chris Lilly and all his stuff, and yeah, that's why I had to do it, because it was just funny. It's just a reference to Chris Lilly. He's hilarious. The character he plays, Gavin McGregor, is just the funniest in that show. It's my favorite character in Lunatics, and it's just funny. Like it's just hilarious. So what I have done in this illustration is put my friend's little boy in the pose of the dabbing that Gavin does, and basically he has gotten his creepy little toys and he's put them into the position as well, and yeah, they're all dabbing and he's having a great time, an absolute ball. And I really wanted to put the name of my friend's little boy on the bottom of this, and with a little quote that I wanted to also have on there is, "May there be joy in everything that you do." I think that's what it is. I don't know, because I've already set the illustration and I'm sort of like I'm looking at the screen and I'm not quite there yet. So, yeah, I wanted to put that obviously on the bottom of the illustration, because I genuinely do wish that, and I wish nothing but like just love and luck and joy and health and everything else that goes with that. Yeah, I just wish him all those good things in life, and also obviously my friend and her husband. I can't wait to meet him. Obviously where I am in Queensland, we don't have any lockdowns here. Brisbane gets lockdowns, but that's the only place. But my friend lives in Melbourne, in Victoria, so they've just been in a hell of a lockdown. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, them being locked down as much as they have been. So once they get out of lockdown, hopefully they'll be out of lockdown by Christmas. Usually she comes up here to see her mum, because her mum lives here, and hopefully everything's going to be okay for them to come up. And I also, once, you know, Melbourne sort of stops all the lockdowns and sort of COVID sort of goes a bit, you know, away, we're hoping to go down there and visit, because I haven't seen where she lives, her house, any of that. I have never been to Melbourne. Be nice to go down there and, you know, have a look. But we are completely restricted at the moment with what we can do, and yeah, one thing we can't do is we can't leave the state. So we can't go anywhere. We can only travel around our own state, and some people can't even do that, which sucks. And yeah, I feel for everybody who who has to like sit in their house and be locked down for days, weeks, months on end. So that's, yeah, it's pretty sucky. So when deciding the toys for this illustration, I did the first things that sort of popped into my mind and felt right with this. I went with a little rabbit, and I went with a sort of a fuzzy little teddy bear, sort of creepy teddy bear, that's kind of like sort of questionable about where he's kind of been, because he has some sort of weird stains on him, sort of, you know, just to add that sort of creepy element, sort of like a teddy scare. I sort of wanted to give him that kind of feel. And then the rabbit's just sort of a plain scary rabbit with some pointy teeth and some very pointy like finger and toe spikes, like one just big pointy fingernail and toenail on the legs, and obviously gave him stitches, and just to make him look extra creepy. And I thought it'd be a really cute touch to do like a little like he's like the little boy's in a little bear sort of onesie, and it's got like the little bear claws, like obviously soft ones for him because he's a little baby, and yeah, he's not terrible like these toys. And yeah, little bear onesie, and I wanted to then do some little bear paws all over as like the pattern of the onesie. And I did the blue, obviously, because he's a boy. I did the blue onesie color, and I mixed a little bit of like sparkle in there to sort of make it sort of pop a little bit. It's very subtle, so it's not in your face sparkly. And then with all the little paw prints that I did as the pattern on the onesie, I used a sort of it's like a bronzy sort of color. And that's also from one of Connie's palettes, her watercolor, handmade watercolor palettes. It's a beautiful bronze color, so I had to use that as the little print, so it gave him more of a pop. And he's like, obviously he's the cute little boy, he's having a great time, he's this innocent little child. He's got a nice little, you know, little shiny bits on his onesie. You know, it's just sort of coming across that he is, you know, he's the cute little boy, obviously, because that's what he is. And then the toys are a little bit more mangy, and they're creepy, and they are sort of a little bit duller. So that's what I wanted to do. I really wanted to make him pop on the page, and then you draw your eyes to the creepy toys beside him. I'm hoping I achieved that. So by the time that this video goes up, this illustration should have been well and truly in the hands of my friend. So I'm hoping that she's enjoyed it. And I sent the original. I didn't send a print, because everyone knows how I feel about originals, but I couldn't resist not sending the original. I had to send the original this time. So yeah, I ended up scanning it, so I've got a copy, I've got a scanned copy on my computer, and yeah, I sent the original to my friend. That's it. That's all I have to say for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed me creating this. Something a little bit different, something a little bit tamer than usual. And yeah, I had a lot of fun doing this. This was really, really fun. It was cute. It was adorable, and sort of refreshing for me to do something a little bit different in my style and not as bloodthirsty as I have been doing. So yeah, that's it from me. I am out of here, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.